CraftStylish is in California at Maker Faire with Jen Hansen of Stitchdiva.com. She's going to demonstrate a strip of hairpin lace using crochet technique. Jen, let's see the tools.
Okay, so if you want to get started doing hairpin lace, you need a loom. And this is the loom that we have available at Stitchdiva.com. I think it's one of the best looms on the market because it's incredibly adjustable. And what you do is you have prongs, and based on your pattern or on whatever design that you're working, you put the prongs into the frame. You know, I could put them 6 inches apart, I could put them half an inch apart. Here I'm just going to put them about 3 inches apart just to demonstrate the basic technique. And you tighten up. Now I've got the top of the loom put together. And what I'm going to do now as the next step in setting up my hairpin lace frame is I'm going to do a slip knot. And this is just a slip knot just the way as if you were just crocheting. Where'd my crochet hook go? If I were to start some crochet work and I do a slip knot, same type of thing. The whole concept of a slip knot is that, you know, you can adjust the aperture of the loop, right? Anyhow, I'm going to take the slip knot and I'm just going to put it over one of the prongs. And for this demonstration, I'm not going to be using guidelines, although a discussion of guidelines is in the article in the CraftStylish article that I wrote. I'm going to put the bottom of the frame on here. And now we can get started. Now, if you're right-handed, you want to orient your loom so that the slip knot on the prong is on your left-hand side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my working yarn and I'm going to bring it over the top and drape it over the opposite prong so that it lays and is going behind the loom. I'm going to grab the tail of my slip knot and I'm just going to tighten it so that that slip knot is roughly in the middle between the prongs. And at this point I'm ready to get started. Now, working with hairpin lace, it's kind of at the beginning you'll feel like you're kind of doing a little bit of a balancing act. It's all about getting your tension right and working with a new tool and kind of finding your groove with the new tool. Like if you remember back to when you started knitting or started crocheting, whatever craft you do, the tools always feel a little weird at first, and it's all a matter of practice and getting used to your tool. So first off, with your yarn, what you're going to do is you want to keep tension with your left hand. That's the purpose of the left hand. The left hand will hold the loom and it will keep tension with the yarn. So I twist it twice around my my pinky, and then I hold the loom like so, and then I can make minor adjustments on where the slip knot is in between my two prongs. And now what I'm going to do with my right hand is I'll just go ahead, I insert my hook from the bottom to the top through the loop that's on the prong. I'll yarn over and I'll pull up a loop, and then I'm just going to chain one. And that's the very first stitch of doing your hairpin lace, very first stitch of doing a hairpin lace strip. Now when I'm working, you see that I'm holding it out here, but typically if I were working at home, I'd be holding it on my tummy like this, and it just helps stabilize the loom. And after, the whole rhythm of doing a hairpin lace strip is making a stitch and flipping the loom. So now I'm going to flip the loom. The first thing I do when I flip the loom is I'm going to twist my crochet hook so that it's essentially upside down on the right side of the loom. Then I'm going to take my hook holding hand and I'm going to grab and flip my crochet hook to the back side of the loom, and then I'm going to flip, bringing the right prong over to the left. And now, still working on the left-hand side, I will always work on the left-hand side. I'm going to insert my hook from the bottom of through the top, up through the loop on the loom, yarn over, pull up a loop, so that there's 2 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through. Then again, in not such slow-mo, I'm going to flip the loom again. And I'm going to keep doing the same thing. Here, I'll make a minor adjustment down there. Again and again, making a stitch, yarning over, 2 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through, there's a stitch. Bring the hook over to the back side of the loom, flip the loom, do another stitch, always working from the bottom to the top through the topmost loop on the left prong of the loom. And this is a very repetitive movement. I'm going to do the same thing again and again and again. It's incredibly meditative. incredibly versatile. You could be talking to friends, chatting, doing whatever. The world could be collapsing around you, and there's really nothing to keep track of. All you're doing is the same motion again and again and again until you get to the length of the strip that you need, that your design calls for, that the pattern calls for. And there you have it. And if your pattern says, do 100 loops or do, however many loops, what you're counting are the loops on each side. So for example, in this really little strip that I've got going on right now, I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this is a 14 loop strip at this point in time. And so for the pattern that's being published in CraftStylish, I'm sure there's hundreds of loops. I'm wearing a garment right now that's filled with tons and tons of loops, and I've joined them together. And actually now once you have more than one strip, you will join those strips together, and that's also going to be in the article that's coming out in the CraftStylish issue that the design is going to be featured in. The wrap design will be featured in. So there you go. That's how you create a basic hairpin lace strip.
Thanks, Jen. Check out her project in our new CraftStylish issue on stands in June. What should they do if they want to learn more?
If you want to learn more, if you want to check out other cool patterns and cool tools for hairpin lace, come to our website at Stitchdiva.com. We've got videos, we've got free online tutorials, and a lot of hip designs that you can make and wear.
See you soon, Jen. That's it from Maker Faire.